Captain Fox here, back doing another video, and today, once again, we are doing another reaction. I was planning on doing some more Lego Star Wars Force Awakens, but I was like, we'll do that like tomorrow. So I took a little nap because I was tired. So after the last video we made, I can assure you it was not a very good sleep after what we saw. Anyways, y'all, this is called Sweet Apple Secrets by Lost Narrator. About time this second I post something and do it. And let's get into let's what? I don't know what I said. This was 6 hours ago. This was 6 hours ago. So let's finally watch it. Sorry that my hair looks out of shape as usual. And let's go. Tales to 11. The Lost Narrator. Ooh, that's a good intro.
Apple Bloom walked up to the large, imposing barn.
Hold up, what? Hold up. Scribbler doing a collab right now with Lost? What's happening here?
On before her. She wasn't often allowed to be out on the farm past sunset, but tonight was different. Tonight was special. The yearling continued on to the gable-roofed building, guided only by the crepuscular light of the barest glimmer of a waning moon.
You already noticed.
She had not been out on the farm at midnight in a very long time, and despite her intimate familiarity with every rock, tree, and root, this world seemed different and unknown to her. The trees did not seem to move right in the wind. In the distance, an apple fell off a branch and landed on a dry leaf, and she jumped.
Huh? Come on, get a hold of yourself, Apple Bloom.
Mate.
Ain't nothing to be afraid of out here just 'cause it's dark.
She steeled herself
and
carried on to the barn doors, knocking when she arrived.
Come on in, sis.
A cheery Applejack replied from inside, and Apple Bloom pulled the large wooden door open enough to slide through.
Close it behind you.
She heard from the darkness within, and she followed her instructions.
Why y'all got it so dark in here, AJ? You know this ain't safe for working.
She furrowed her brow, trying to make out anything in the midnight barn.
This ain't safe work.
Came a whisper in her left ear. Apple Bloom shrieked and tripped onto her side. The voice then laughed heartily, and a hoof offered her help up.
It ain't funny, AJ. Why am I out here? Why are you out here in the middle of the night? Come on, put this on.
A pile of fabric smacked Apple Bloom lightly in the face, and she sighed, trying to figure out what exactly she was to be wearing. After struggling for a few...
It's like, is we in a cult? Come on.
...minutes, hearing only the scuffle as Applejack slunk mysteriously around the room, she finally figured it out. It was a hooded cloak, and as her eyes adjusted to what light they could get, she figured it was just as black as the room she was in.
Y'all still didn't answer my question. I told you to come out here in the middle of the night because, well, it's Nightmare Night, Apple Bloom. And there are traditions in this family that you have yet to be told. Got your cloak on.
There's traditions in my family that we don't do Halloween, so...
Right?
Apple Bloom mulled over the answer given, wondering what tradition she had somehow not only been kept out of the loop on, but had avoided all of her prying eyes and ears over the years.
I think so, but I can't see a darn thing to tell you. All you do is complain. One more minute, and there'll be some light.
Apple Bloom plopped onto her flank, still waiting next to the heavy wooden doors. For all that she could see after being in the dark, Applejack had some mess on the floor and was busily moving from pile to pile of... something. In a literal flash, a match was struck.
I thought she stepped on a
flinched away from the sudden light.
A little warning next time, please. Sorry.
Apple Bloom turned back with newly adjusted eyes and blinked. Applejack was moving slowly in a...
What is that?
Apple Bloom said, her voice monotone and her eyes open wide.
This here is your funny magic.
She replied,
Huh?
lighting the last candle before stomping her match out.
What was that?
Her eyes open wide.
This here is your funny magic.
She replied, lighting the last
I
candle
barely
before
understood
stomping her
what
match
she
out.
said.
Sorry. This is Earth Pony magic, Apple Bloom.
Oh.
You're old enough to learn what it is and why we do it.
She turned and looked at her sister, her orange face beaming with pride beneath the shadow of her hood.
And I'm old enough to teach you. Like Granny taught me, and her pa taught her.
Applejack, what is this? I don't like it.
Apple Bloom shifted slowly around the circle, scuffed into the dirt.
What is that made out of, AJ?
All you're gonna do is worry, huh?
Whoa, what type of cult is this?
It's paint that we use for the side of the barn.
This brought a little bit of relief to Apple Bloom, but she still felt strange, staring at the strange glyphs before her.
Okay, alright. You're playing a joke on me, ain't you, AJ?
I highly
Applejack
doubt that.
brought her hood down and sat next to her sister. The proud smile came off her face, and she looked at Apple Bloom with concern and love.
It ain't a joke, Apple Bloom. Though I suppose it might all feel like one. Y'all need to know what this is, and how to do it. And we'll do it every year until I can't. And then you can teach the next generation of the Sweet Apple Acres family.
Yeah,
I'm
and I'm
sorry
gonna
I
kill
haven't
the
been
next
taking your
generation.
concerns seriously.
She looked out at the circle before her and the dancing shadows cast by the candles.
I've been doing this for so long now. I guess I plumb forgot how I felt the first time, too.
Apple Bloom leaned against her sister, feeling the familiar warmth come through the cloaks.
I forgive you. But can you tell me what it is?
You know how we haven't had a bad year on this farm for as long as any of us can remember?
Well, kinda. What about a few years back? We didn't have as good a harvest as usual.
No, but we still had a harvest. Mother Nature still has to play her part. But, well, this tradition is why we ain't ever gone hungry. Why the apple trees never outgrow their roots and fall. Why during dry years we ain't ever get a lightning strike. We do a deal.
A deal.
I can call it. I already know who they dealing with right now. Dude, bruh. Do not take advice from these people. You gonna die.
Apple Bloom repeated, staring hauntedly at the
So
circle.
whatever happens to them,
With
I do not
who,
care.
Applejack?
They deserve
I
it.
don't know, and I don't think it's liable to tell us. Nor do I think it's a good idea to know for all that matter.
Then why do we do it?
'Cause the cost is cheap, and it keeps our family safe. Come here, sis.
Applejack
It's safe
moved
for a
around
while.
the circle to the back of the barn and
Can show
pulled
you
a sheet
that.
of burlap off a pile. In it was a white rabbit, hopping silently around in a small critter trap. The mare ducked over behind the pile
Are we
and
about
picked
to?
something up in her
Alright,
mouth
it's small.
before turning to face Apple Bloom.
It's like I already know where this is going. Alright, I already know. Alright, this is about to get real. Kids, shield your eyes.
Applejack, that's a
Your ears.
knife.
I know what this is.
The mumbled reply came. She set it down before Apple Bloom.
Just like what I learned, you get to do this part.
Me.
I'll do the talking for now, but Granny and I will get you taught on how to speak the words soon enough.
Whoa.
Pick up the knife, Apple
What
Bloom,
words?
and sit next to the middle of the circle, facing me.
Cautiously, Apple Bloom did as she was told. The knife felt heavy in her mouth. The strange blade twisted and decorated, and she felt that there was more than metal in the utensil she held. She gingerly stepped. Applejack came over to her then, the rabbit dangling from her mouth. She set it down gently between the goat's eyes and held it down. She caught Apple Bloom's eye and stared intently.
Hold this here, by its neck. It'll mess and scratch, but don't let it hop away. Good. Good. When you hear me say I know, plunge the knife into its chest, through into the dirt. Can you do that for me, Apple Bloom?
No.
Look at me. Can you do this?
Her bottom
I don't want to do
as she
nothing.
contemplated
I
the
just want to
rush
just
of
actually
information.
throw it at your face. At this point.
This isn't Fluttershy's rabbit, though, is it?
It ain't, don't you worry.
Why you always lying?
We always catch a wild one. So, can you do it?
The yearling looked down at the creature beneath her hoof. It squirmed helplessly. She thought of home and family, and the seriousness in her sister's eyes, and the honesty she represented.
I can do it. Yes.
Thank you, Apple Bloom.
Applejack returned to the top of the circle and threw her hood back on. She began, and the room suddenly...
I'm gonna just probably cut, just for safety.
Shriek overcoming Apple Bloom's ears. It went on, and she too shouted in pain as her ears throbbed along with the glow around her. And then there was silence.
Mate, what's
A
happening?
small pool of blood flowed out from the rabbit, but slipped into the ground. Apple Bloom watched as the rabbit mummified before her, watched as the skin vanished to dust, watched as the skeleton broke down into dirt before her, and then the light came back to the world. Apple Bloom stood, shaking, realizing then that the knife was still in her mouth. She retched and stepped back, collapsing to her haunches. Applejack walked to her, kicked...
That's it, Sugar Cube. You did pretty well.
Did?
She didn't believe it. It felt wrong. But she also felt the warmth of her sister, and of the candles, and their light, and of another sense entirely. She realized she had felt it whenever she stepped foot onto the acreage. She had always thought that was the feeling of home. She supposed now that it was her home that supplied that comfort, but not in any way she would have expected.
You did, sis. Come on now. Help me clean this up.
Applejack said softly, blowing out the candles.
I don't know. Lost, I should really smack you upside the head. Anyways, y'all, I hope y'all love that video. Hope y'all subscribe, hit the bell. Peace out, everybody. I made my head hurt. God bless.